Hey guys, welcome back to BS Rugby. It has been a while, but I am back to preview this weekend's final tests, of course. And the big game for me as a Welshman has to be South Africa taking on Wales down in Cape Town at the DHL Stadium. This is my preview of the game, my thoughts and predictions. As always, really keen to hear your predictions in the comments down below. Let me know what you think is going to happen down in South Africa. This game, as I said, of course, takes place at the DHL Stadium in Cape Town. Kickoff is at 5:05, that's local time, so in the UK, or in Ireland, that is 5 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. Now, last game, of course, we saw Wales get their first ever win on Springbok soil, winning that one by 13 points to 12. A last-minute try from Josh Adams and a brilliant conversion from Gareth Anscombe gave Wales the win. But I think the big thing we have to talk about is, of course, that South Africa did heavily rotate for that one, and so it is important to take that into context. But still, it'll give confidence to the boys as they head out to take on this formidable Springbok side once again. In terms of what I thought Wales did well, I've got to say I thought it was a strong performance. Scrum was really solid throughout. That is something that under the Pivac tutelage we have struggled with to a certain extent, but really pleased to see that we have stepped up in that area. And of course, got to mention Tommy Reffell. I mean, what a performance from this guy once again. Second cap, man of the match. He is absolutely key to the way we want to play and the way we want to control things at the breakdown. And it's really interesting to see the development and the growing in confidence in this Wales team, especially after the poor Six Nations and losing to Italy. It's a massive boost to be able to put in a performance like that. In terms of the Springboks, they won't be happy with that performance. Of course they won't, but they will believe that they can certainly put in a good enough performance to beat Wales. And they do go in as favourites. Absolutely, they go in as favourites. They've completely changed their team once again, going back to pretty much full strength, and we'll go through it in just a second. And we'll have a look at where the key matchups and what each team needs to do to make sure that they can win this game. So for South Africa, they rotated a lot. There wasn't that fluency in their game, but these are always tight games between South Africa and Wales. It's very rare that one team goes and runs away with it. Let's go through the Springbok team, then it'll be up on the screen. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, as always, on the team, where you think the game's going to be won and lost. So starting at fullback, Damien Willems plays at fullback with Cheslin Colby and Makoselo Mapimbi on the wings. Damien Diolande plays alongside Lucanio Am in the centre, with Andre Pollard given the jersey of 10, and at 9 Jaden Hendrikse Faf de Klerk on the bench. Keep an eye out on that one. In the front row, Trevor Niakane, Bongi Mbonambi and Franz Melherb play in the front row. Ebenezer will get his 100th cap playing in the locks alongside Lou de Jager. Sia Khaleesi, of course, is captain at 6 alongside Pieter Steph du Toit, and Jasper Wiese plays at 8. We'll have a look at the Wales team as well and see how they line up for this one. This is how Wayne Pivac has picked the team to take on the Springboks, starting once again in the fullback position. Liam Williams starts at fullback with Louis Rees-Zammit playing on the wing alongside Josh Adams. Nick Tompkins and George North play in the centres. Dan Biggar is fit for this one and plays at 10. Of course, he went off injured in the last game. Kieran Hardy keeps his spot at 9. In the front row then, Gareth Thomas partners Ryan Elias and Dillian Lewis, who is back as well fit for this one, with Will Rowlands and Adam Beard playing in the locks. Dan Lydia, Tommy Reffell and Talupe Faletau complete the back row, leaving the bench of Derry Lake, Wyn Jones, Sam Wainwright, Adam Wyn Jones, Josh Navidi, Thomas Williams, Gareth Anscombe and Owen Watkin as well. So that is how the teams line up. As I said, just let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on the team lineups. In terms of the key areas, there's a few key areas that really, if Wales want to win the game, of course I'm Welsh, I want Wales to win, but if we want to win the game, we need to get a few areas certainly on point. The first one is the breakdown. The breakdown is absolutely massive, and it's getting more and more important in rugby, isn't it? And sometimes rugby can be a complicated game, but if you can get quick ball, you can catch the team lacking and not set for their defence, that is when you're going to score a lot of your tries, and that is something that we are going to have to try and do. But the breakdown is going to be really, really key. Of course, Tommy Reffel has shown his quality in that area over the past couple of games. Dan Lydiot as well. We know the effect that he can have in there. Talupe Faletau as well. But when you look at the Springboks, they're not too bad in that area either. Peter Steph du Toit, Khaleesi and Visa aren't too bad in that area. So whoever can get the dominance there, whoever can... With the Springboks, it certainly feels like once they get in the flow, once they get the momentum, very powerful team. We know traditionally very powerful, very physical, very difficult to stop. It's a bit like a steam train, very difficult to stop. It feels like Wales are going to have to slow the ball down, be a menace at the breakdown, be a little bit annoying, maybe give 1 or 2 penalties away here and there. I'm okay with that as long as we keep our discipline to an extent. We have to try and disturb them a little bit in that area, and the Springboks of course will certainly have their tricks up their sleeves that they will want to be using as well. The other one is the driving maul. The driving maul has actually been a bit of a weapon for Wales over the past few months, and Wales have actually managed to score 2 tries against the Springboks in this test from driving mauls alone, which is quite an impressive thing considering that the Springboks are probably one of the best teams in the world at doing it. That's how they beat Wales last autumn, with a driving maul, and yeah, it was pretty heartbreaking right at the end. But yeah, that is a weapon that we can use. As a Wales fan, it's not the most attractive way to play. Pivac came in wanting to throw the ball about, wanting to spread the play, but I think he's understood where this team is at the minute, what players we have available, who suits what style, and I think he's beginning to understand that now, that you can't just go and try and throw the ball about willy-nilly, just go for it. You have to have some structure, and he is making sure that our staples such as our scrum, our breakdown and the driving maul are pretty solid, and the line-out's certainly coming along. And I just mentioned it there, the other key area has to be the scrum. The scrum has actually been a positive for us. We managed to stand strong against the South African scrum last week, but it's a different challenge this week with those in them, Mbanambi in there and the rest. You know, it's going to be really, really difficult in that area, but if you can get on the right side of the ref, if you can hold your own in that area, then you stand a chance. What you don't want to happen is the penalties start to rack up. That would be really concerning as a Wales fan. So we've gone through the teams, we've had a little look at some of the key areas. What do I think is going to happen? Well, all the pressure is on the Springboks. All the pressure, world champions at home. They lost last weekend. It's a bit of an experiment, didn't come off for them. We pushed them really hard a couple of weeks ago, but ran out of steam at the end, it seems. My heart says Wales going to do it by a couple of points, but my head thinks the Springboks will just have that little bit too much. But I'd be absolutely buzzing if my head was proved wrong and that Wales did get the win. But I'd be really keen to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. Apologies once again about the lack of uploads over the past few months. It's just been absolutely crazy. Going to try and be a bit more consistent on the channel and heading into the new season as well. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon here on BS Rugby. Take it easy and peace.